And I'm going to try and cover other brands in the meantime, like Kith and Cookies. What's going on YouTube? Taylor Print is back here with another video. In this video I'm going to be talking about the week 20 drop list for Supreme. So this is actually the last week, so I imagine these items will go pretty quick just because it is the last week. Everyone's looking to get that last piece for the season. Drops by Jay was actually saying there will be a sale starting in a little over 2 weeks, so I'll try to keep you guys up to date. If you guys want to follow my Instagram, I'll be posting on my story whenever I get news updates about that, but that'll be a good opportunity to pick up pieces that you weren't able to get earlier in the season, or pieces for just a little cheaper than retail. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for that. But with that being said, let's just go ahead and get on into this week. So the first item we have here is like a anorak with Griffin Studios. So I had actually never heard of Griffin Studios. I went to their profile. It looks pretty cool. It looks like they do a lot of outerwear stuff, but I really like this jacket. I don't really love the colors that they went with. I think the yellow looks a little bit funny, but the texture to the jacket is really cool. I love the way that they made it look like actual leaves, very reminiscent of like a ghillie suit, but still more like street wearable in my opinion. So yeah, I'm curious to see if they'll have other colorways of this. I imagine there will be at least like one other colorway, maybe not, I don't know. I thought the texture in this jacket and the like leaves type of look was executed really well. Next we've got some work jackets. I actually saw Earl sweatshirt in this yellow one, and I really like these. These are pretty simple. Like I say in all my videos, I prefer my jackets to have hoods, but as far as this goes, it's really clean. I think the pockets that they went with were a good decision. I think it really like fills out the jacket, and then the nice little subtle Supreme logo on the back. So yeah, I thought this was just a really clean piece. I'm not sure which colorway I would go with. Maybe the salmon. I think it's pretty cool, but to be honest, I feel like all the colorways are pretty wearable with a lot of things. So I think they did a good job selecting these colorways as well. And then next we have the Skull Shorts by Ralph Steadman. So Ralph Steadman is just a art designer. He did a collaboration earlier in this season with the same artwork. It was just on hoodies, I believe. They might have done t-shirts too actually, but he did the artwork for Huncho Jack, if you guys are familiar with that album too. So he's a pretty well-known guy in pop culture. But yeah, these pieces just aren't really something that I love. It does look like these are embroidered though. I'm not 100% sure. I would need like a little more high-res images to be able to tell, but if you look at the eyes, it really looks like those are embroidered in there. So if it is embroidered and not a print, that's a huge W for this piece. But as far as this piece goes, either way, I still don't really think it's something that I would add to my collection. I don't think it's a bad piece, and I think a lot of people will really like these. Seemed like in the comments they were received pretty well, but just not really something that I would wear. And I do like this black and this tan colorway, but this purple colorway is a little bit too much. And then next we've got small left chest logos. So this is that hand style, that like graffiti type of font that they released last week in the bigger t-shirts, or the bigger logos, excuse me. But yeah, now they just made them smaller and on the left chest. So I think these are pretty cool. I think the colors are cool. I actually thought these were going to drop last week too, but I actually couldn't even tell what was going on in them last week. So now that we have better images, I was able to see what is actually going on. And yeah, it is just that hand style logo, just small and on the left chest. But yeah, I like these. Really simple, but I like that logo a lot, and I like the colors that they went with here. I can see myself wearing pretty much any of these. And then we've got some camp caps. I'm never really too big of a fan of these, but I think the colors they went with are pretty cool. The only one I don't really like is this blue one over here, but I think this orange one is awesome, and the white one's pretty clean too. And then black and brown, you can never really go wrong with. Kind of goes with everything. So yeah, pretty solid for someone who doesn't like camp caps. I think they did a pretty good job with those for this week. And then we had Supreme Umbro soccer balls. I thought this was really cool. I'm not like a huge soccer fan. I do enjoy it every once in a while. I think whenever Supreme does collaborations with sports brands, it always turns out pretty cool, and the accessories are pretty cool. Obviously, like I said, I'm not a huge soccer player, but it's nice to have one soccer ball around, and if it has to be one, might as well make it a Supreme one. Next, we've got the cots that I thought were going to drop actually a couple weeks ago, but they did not. So we have more information. They're with a brand called Helinox, which I've never heard of. Maybe if you guys are like big campers or something like that, you've heard of them. Let me know down below if you have heard of them, if they're like a good brand, because I have never heard of them. But I imagine these will be pretty high quality for what they are. And yeah, not something that I would use a lot, but it would be super cool to just have like in the studio or just in my room as like more seating options and just like a cool piece to show off. And then moving on, we've got pins. So there is a Vans collaboration this week with an artist named LOWMAN. I'm imagining it's Lowman. I'm not really sure how you pronounce it, but he made these like bullet shot pins, and then I'm pretty sure he did these goat pins too, which if you remember, the goat logo was on a New Era hat that was released earlier this season, so I'm not sure if that was him too, but I'm imagining it is. And then lastly for this week, we've got one of the most hyped items, probably the most hyped items, which are the LOWMAN Vans collaboration. And to be honest, I think these are a pretty big miss. I think that's kind of bold to just come out and say that like that, but I wasn't really feeling the silhouette. They're like the half cab style, and I'm just not a fan of those, but I also don't really like the designs. I feel like it's just kind of lazy. It does remind me of like older Supreme pieces, so it's a little bit nostalgic, so I think that's cool. But as far as like the design itself goes, if there were no nostalgia attached to it, I would not be a fan at all. And it didn't really seem like people in the comments really liked them either. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down below, because I thought this was a pretty big miss and was hoping that the season would go out on a little bit higher of a note. But anyways, that's just my opinion. And yeah, everything is subjective when it comes to fashion, so take everything I say not to heart. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it to this point, if you could hit that like and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. When the season picks back up again in the fall winter, I will be doing these videos again, and I'm going to try and cover other brands in the meantime, like Kith and Cookies and these other types of streetwear brands. I'm not sure what all I'll do, but we're going to try and incorporate more brands into the channel, so we're not kind of just dead when Supreme isn't active. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy that content. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. We will see you next time. Have a good one.